should probably get rid of the source. Delete. Come on. Add source. Might not even be seeing this. Perfect. Recording. Come on. Yep, all good. Okay. So yeah, so it's not being seen. Okay, public. Right now, plus streaming software. No, you will not do this to me, please. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me, please. Yeah, right now. Streaming software. Oh? You approaching me? Come on. Come on, boys. Come on, I just want to go to the control room. Just want to go to the control room. Plus. Come on. Yeah, okay. Right now, streaming software. You know it's me, boys. Okay. Sorry, this might seem annoying to you guys. This is just me and my OCD. Yeah, I know it's public, mate. Later, streaming software. Finally. No, I don't want to. Alright. Oh boy. Okie dokie, I think we're good. Peachy Keen. I think. I don't know. Okie dokie, this will just be in the trim. Are we good? Are we dandy? Yeah, Minecraft not responding. Of course it's not right now. Oh my goodness, okay. Plus. For the love of Christ. Why now? All I'm trying to do is my thing. Wait for it to respond, please. Maybe it'll actually surprise me. No? Okay. Yeah, close the fucking thing. Yeah. I'll have to reopen and re-add the source. Java TM platform binary not responding. Ugh. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh yeah, now you set the launcher back up. Day in the life of a YouTube streamer. Yeah, I know it crashed. Computer's garbage. Actually, it's laptop. But you know, now we're gonna have to wait a little longer. I guess I could use this as the time to start talking about it. So some of you who watched all 13 of you, possibly more, who watched my video on roasting big YouTubers, I'd like to preface why I took it down. by saying, I accidentally used copyrighted footage. Now, the person I bought it from, or I didn't buy it from, no, I stole it basically, was, a guy who did aerial footage throughout the world and stuff, right? But it wasn't until days later, or today, really, I like, crap, that was copyrighted. Now, if you guys are young, whoever might be, you don't get something that's copyrighted. Music, footage, audio, or audio search on the topic. And that's why it's an update. Well, is it not capturing the footage? XSplit, please open. XSplit, come on. Okay, it's capturing the footage. Oh, YouTube is not receiving enough video. Teen streams. Well, I'm pretty sure you've got it, mate. Here,
I ask you a question.
I covered and decided to also release an updated version of that video. Mainly, I've researched into idubbs, more perspectives into idubbs, which I will also link in the chat, or link in the description, and I found more disturbing things on Miniladd. Now, a few people who are, offended by what I might say, I'm sorry, things need to be exposed. Like Epstein, Cosby, whatever. Things need to be out when they happen. And since I'm just as shocked as everyone about the Miniladd thing, I'd like to start with that as well. Now, in the previous video, oh, sorry, let me get the B-roll footage up. In the previous video, when I talked about Miniladd, I said, well, and I'll recover that thing. So Miniladd, in June, it broke soon after his scandal of manipulative abuse of his girlfriend and Twitch streamer Sunny Day. At least I think that was her name, yeah, Sunny Day. What happened was, it broke out that he had sent 2 lewd and inappropriate messages to 2 young girls in California. Now, there are accounts you can go to. I will link the video in the description that will be able to show you those accounts. He is a YouTuber called Diesel Patch, right? Yes, my very creative names for YouTube. Yeah, back up and load. In any case, so when to June, but anyway. Now, in the previous video, I stated that I didn't know whether it was true or not, and that, if it isn't true, that he is not handling it very well. Given that most people who are, innocent of a crime that they were accused, you get people like Bill Cosby who want to shut up and get evidence to just outright make the victims seem wrong. Yeah, you're going to get those, but for the most part, when you have someone accused of a crime that they didn't commit, they try to prove they're innocent. And now, when you have, mostly this occurs in psychopaths who know they've done a crime, but yes, it occurs more than just that, just so you know. When you get someone who knows they've committed is they just stay silent. I'll wait for my lawyer. I'll just, that's that sort of thing. It's basically a rundown of what I said before. And the point I made was, if Mitty is, innocent of the crime, he's not handling it like someone who isn't. Now, since then, I have come to learn that he, in fact, actually admitted to the stuff, and he has not actually talked about it in his YouTube channel. Now, we could go into why that is, and the short of it is that Miniladd, for the most part, his demographic is younger people, possibly from middle school and up, basically, is where his demographic is. Now, obviously, some of the older people who know the gravity of that situation have said, no, nuh-uh, I'm out, such as people like myself. Now, I will link the video by Diesel Patches because, I think he does a way better job of explaining that. Well, thank you for freezing up, game. In any case, I hate when it's. If you guys ever have a laptop, don't decide to do videos on it, please. This is my problem. I'm gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, I'll save and quit the title. Okay. New plan, so my video doesn't screw up as much. Obviously. Yeah, close, please. I don't want it lagging all the time. Ugh, please, please. Yeah, laptops such as mine are not capable of apparently doing two things at once. Yeah, saving world, I just want out, please. And why did you go away? In any case, so while that's all happening, so you can see my beautiful, beautiful outtakes, we'll section our way into idubbs. Now, I'm always a fan of idubbs. I've loved some of his memes and comedy, mainly the, just, meticulous breakdown of, Rice Gum, Tana Mojo. But one thing I always have a criticism of is his use of slurs. Now, obviously, some people, everyone has, not understood it at some point, and people say it, and people regret it, but you get points where people say, oh, I don't, like Dana Mojo, for example, in idubbs videos, like, yeah, she doesn't outright say, she just makes up dumb excuses for it, is what, and that you can see that in idubbs video, basically. But, I don't really appreciate idubbs' uses of the words, but I understand why he does. Perhaps you might notice that when he does that, he, like this in the video for Content Cop Tana Mojo, he goes up to her event and he openly says the word, N-word. Now, obviously, he was right. The whole thing was pretty controlled in his calculations. But it's still a pretty big gambit, I'm not gonna lie. For, such a big, such a very for such a negatively charged word with history. So, obviously you understand why that isn't okay, and why I don't necessarily approve of the methods he uses to share that idea. Now, some of my criticism as far as idubbs is, yeah, he is kind of that. It's all has to do with the simp. It really kind of shows where he's at. Now, if you don't know what the big deal about the simp thing is, again, I can link another video I can add to that growing list of links in the description. Is again, that people notice that, hey, your girlfriend has an OnlyFans. Didn't you slut shame people? And yes, he did, and he obviously tried to, defend himself. He basically became a self-parody, you see, because for someone who pointed out, like in the Tana Mojo video, where he, made fun of her for saying the N-word, but now all of a sudden she has to defend herself, like, with these bad excuses. Well, idubbs, in your response video to the whole simping thing, you don't exactly do a good job either. He basically becomes the exact same thing the Content Cop was about, you see. That being, the whole bad excuses, poorly constructed arguments in defense, yada yada yada. If I decided to make a Content Cop on idubbs, it would almost be meta, you see, where, oh, the person who made the Content Cop is the subject of one. Yeah, but that's for the most part. But you can obviously see it started to bother him for someone who's known as being a very edgy, cold fish of a person, he's obviously started to be very uncomfortable by the whole simping thing. Because it's basically been against him all this time now. Right? So, yeah, you can see it. It's almost, for a person who hears emotion a lot better now than he used to. I used to be so tone deaf and emotion deaf. Now I can start to hear and almost feel tangibly. This might be a synesthesia thing, but I can almost feel a sort of like, I know I'm just going on and on, sorry, but it really is the kind of downfall of a giant. And personally, I think some things are dead. I think people like Miniladd are exposed. People like it's just, when you're someone who has that sort of power, you shouldn't abuse it. And I think DSL patch is very correct. That's why I think I will link him in the video. But when you deal with you see like, oh, Bill Cosby, you couldn't possibly, Michael Jackson, Louis C.K. I love Louis C.K. I love his comedy. But then you hear about these things where he, did very naughty things in a public place, sexual assault basically. But it's for the better good that we expose these things. Now, for those of you who are thinking, hey, this is titled I Roast Big YouTubers, why are you roasting? You're not roasting. Yeah, so this segues into the third YouTuber I talked about in the previous video, Nux Taku. Now, Nux Taku is a very big meme lord. Obviously, I should have my tongue cut out for the fact that I call him Nux Taku. He's clearly Lord Nuxnor, of course. Now, Lord Nuxnor, creator of the Eternal Billy, is someone who clickbaits quite a lot. If you haven't ever seen his content, it's fresh. Now, one thing, now Nux Taku is very much kind of, I associate with him, right? There's like he has energy that I feel is very similar to mine, where he thrives in sort of social chaos. Like he made a video, which is kind of the subject of what I want to talk about. Is he made a video declaring war on the One Piece community, right? Then that video, as sometimes they always might, gets some very negative feedback by people. Now, for the most part, he stated that the most negative feedback came in one person. For the most part, everyone who was YouTube or One Piece centered in the anime YouTube community very much agreed with him so there was this YouTuber who had a very big problem with him, and actually made a video with about the same length, which is very important to the response video to that. But criticizing him for cherry picking, making a video too long, just being wrong, but always prefacing with, I have no problem, no beef, and I think he's right, and then going on to say why he's wrong. You obviously see where Nux will start to tear this apart in one of his most recent videos. I think it's the second to last newest one, or second newest one, where he responds to that video from the YouTuber who had a problem with it. And I always love people who, like Nux, who attack things, right? He doesn't just like, your mom, the equivalent of your mom gay, right? That's what I always love for a person. When you don't have to throw fists, and you can use your words. Oh, like I would always love to smash things, right? Get strong, big and strong like that. But as a person who grew up not knowing vocabulary and getting pissed at everything, it was such bliss to be able to learn how to destroy someone with words. Because, Nux Taku makes some of his living on such a thing. It's just an inspiration to see him do something like that. Now, when I talk about Nux Taku, Lord Nuxnor, I love to see, what he does is he's a big name in the anime community. He's played with Lost Paws, he's played Iron Mouse, has a interesting relationship, check out his videos, with, Shmentai Lady, Project Melody, and various other YouTubers and anime YouTubers in general. So, some of his content is anime based, some of it is more meme based, but in a sense, he's a very well-rounded YouTuber. Now, one thing I would like to mention about him, amongst other things, obviously you can see I'm much more biased towards this one, and it's okay to have bias, but obviously you don't want it to cloud your judgment. Like, obviously there are people who will defend Miniladd and idubbs despite, what they've done, their, crimes and or hypocrisy, and that's something I don't like. Lord Nuxnor, right? He is the thing I'm trying to become, really, at some point. There is one thing that I see as big Nux energy, and it was a game I once played, right? It was the same, I think it was called, it's basically a game where you had tiles on it, and you place them down as you go along, and what I decided to do, now usually these tiles have different effects, right? And what I decided to do was use my tiles, and the tiles I would gain, to screw things up. I'm, in a sense called by my friends, a mad fey trickster. And I intentionally stirred things up, and at some points I had to deal with my own trap, but it was so fun to see that chaos of the game. Now, one other thing I really love about his content is he's always willing to bow down to somebody. He's not like, I haven't quite seen him, to my knowledge yet, get humbled, like absolutely, I don't know I guess that's what humbling sounds like. But, he's always willing to just step down to it. But obviously, most people who attack him with the idea of your mom gay, or more convoluted ways of saying that. Yep. Now, one thing I would like to do is get to my sponsor. No, I'm not sponsored by anyone. So, a product I would like to showcase is Shudder. Now, Shudder is a streaming platform for horror content. You got franchises, collections of all different kinds, zombies, psycho horror, all sorts of things. Now, I'm not personally sponsored by them, and I would love to be, but you can get codes from people like, I think CZ's World has one, but James A. Janice, it's Deadmate James, go check out his channel, please. I'd love to give some of those bigger guys I approve of all the support I can. And yep, so Shudder has, Creep Show. They have pretty actually nice original content. Like, I'm a big fan of Scare Package. That's it, Scare Package. Sorry, oh, you're a big fan. Why didn't you remember the name? I'm bad at names, I'm sorry. Unless I built some real good connections, like a weird memory. Like, I'm a very big fan of bad special effects. And I love this one where they throw a rock and that guy's head explodes. It's awesome. A little schlock, but I love it. But yes, this ends stream. Thank you for, coming to this. And I hope you very much enjoy my content. There is a script if you like this sort of thing. what I'd like you to do is, obviously like, comment, and subscribe, and always be very nice people. I'd love to see what we can do with this community. Thank you.